Hey guys, welcome back. Ryan Stanley, headmaster of mindset, here today to talk to you about why your affirmations aren't working. But before we get started, there is a little bit of house cleaning to do. And I'm going to, instead of telling you myself, I'm going to let my 7-year-old Aiden give you the scoop. Go ahead, Aiden. What do you think?
And also smash that like button on Teach Me to Sell. And also smash that subscribe button on Teach Me to Sell.
Yes. So now that we got that out of the way, you have liked, you have subscribed. Let's get back to the affirmations. So many people come to me as a coach. I work very heavily with affirmations with myself and with coaching clients, with people teach me to sell. And so often people are like, I've been doing the affirmations. They're just not working. So if that's you, if you feel like, first of all, if you're just curious, maybe you haven't stepped into it yet, or maybe you've just kind of dipped your toe in the water of affirmations, and you're like, does this stuff even work? The answer is yes, it works, but not all the time. And here's why. To sit and just say anything over and over again, I mean, there are certainly aspects of that that can be helpful for your subconscious to be continuing and consistently programming. And I think eventually, the more time you have, even to just say the words and imagine it in some level in your mind, is going to help you bring it about in life. And on some level, is programming your subconscious to be on the lookout for opportunities for these different outcomes that you are saying as part of your affirmations. But the truth of the matter is that really, even from a quantum physics level, when you're just saying words, the outcome is not guaranteed. It's not necessarily going to happen. You're not necessarily going to create it. The combination of intention and elevated emotion is really what ends up bringing out manifestations and bringing out the actualization of affirmations. So if I were to sit here and say every single day, I'm healthy, I feel healthy, I'm going to be healthy, I am healthy. Meanwhile, I'm sick and I'm just I'm not saying it with any passion. I'm not creating any gratitude for my health as much as I'm thinking about how unhealthy I am. If I'm stuck in this place of disease or a very realistic, you might have a very realistic disease. But if you're sitting there just thinking I'm unhealthy, I better say these affirmations, and you're saying them, but without any passion, without any curiosity as to what actual health might feel like, chances are you're not going to shift anything. There's a whole field of science called epigenetics, where they study the genes and how they are shifted and changed by our thoughts. Not only by our thoughts, but by the emotions that we attach or that are created by those thoughts. And so while this started off as a conversation around just affirmations in general, it's also a conversation around health, but also from a monetary place, right? A majority of people want to get rich. They want to have millions of dollars. They don't really want to have the millions of dollars. They just want to have the freedom that millions of dollars, or that they believe millions of dollars, will bring to them. The trick is to get your affirmations to work. You don't just say, I have $1 million. I am a millionaire. I have $10 million in my bank account. When you say that, you need to sit there for a moment and not be selfish with your time or impatient with your time. Create a person who is patient. And in that moment of patience, once you've said, I am a multimillionaire, I have $10 million in my bank account, sit there for a solid, let's call it 30 seconds, if not 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever works best for you, depending on how many affirmations you have. Sit there and close your eyes. Once you say, I'm going to use, that'll be the example. I am a multimillionaire. I have $10 million in my bank account, right? Even just saying it right now feels really good because I know that it's true. So you have to let go of how it's going to happen. Doesn't mean don't take action on it. Let go of how it's going to happen. Create genuine gratitude in that moment. Close your eyes and not only imagine yourself what your life would look like if you had $10 million in your bank account. What type of a car would you drive? What type of a house would you live in? What type of school would your children attend? What type of vacation homes might you own? How might you travel? I mean, everybody has different things. These are some of the things that I'm excited to do once my bank account hits the $10 million. But it might be different for you. What type of music will you go see? What type of, who will you help? What type of nonprofit will you start? All these different things, they are what you would do with $10 million, right, in this scenario. So sit there and think about it, and then begin to feel it and really just create gratitude for that outcome as if it has already happened. And sit in that and feel it. Like if I told you right now, if you got the phone call after this video was, if you got done watching this video, you got a phone call, your phone rings, all it says, oh, you just won the lottery, you have $10 million. How would you feel? And then think about a year from then. Okay, you've gotten used to having $10 million, and this is the lifestyle that you live. and I've created for yourself, what would that look like? And genuinely, not only do you create gratitude for the outcome itself, but then create gratitude for your ability to co-create that outcome, right? So there's three basic pillars in this scenario. The first one is intention. That's you say the words that you are intending. You are creating this thought. You're taking this thought from your mind and you're putting it into words. I would actually recommend even writing it down. In fact, I'll get into it in a minute, but if you check out in the description here, we have a link to, you can get 300 affirmations that I've developed. We put them in a free PDF for you. You can check it out in the link below, right? So write down these affirmations. And I'm going to use the example of $10 million. So you write down, I have $10 million in my bank account. I am a multimillionaire, right? So you write it down, you think about it, you create gratitude for the outcome itself. You create gratitude for your ability to co-create that outcome itself. And you sit there and you feel it and you are grateful for it. And if you do that every day, multiple times a day, you are attaching intention to gratitude, which is an elevated emotion, to faith in the outcome, right? Faith that you are not just the creator of your life, but you are the co-creator of your life. And there is a greater power. There is something that creates sunlight and oxygen and gravity and all the things that allow us to survive and live this thing called life. And when you start to step into those moments where you wake up in the morning and you're recognizing that every single second of life is a gift because I have gratitude, sunlight, oxygen here. And you start to then imagine a life with gratitude, sunlight, oxygen, and $10 million in your bank account. And you create gratitude for all of the above. You create gratitude for that. You create gratitude for your ability to create it and your ability to think thoughts of gratitude. It really is this cycle of enjoying the present moment. Is the cycle of being here now and creating the now as if you have everything that you already want. It is this method of letting go of how it's actually going to occur. It doesn't mean don't take action. It doesn't mean just sit around on your hands all day, every day, and just wait for $10 million to fall into your lap. It does, however, mean think about it as if it's going to happen no matter what. I actually have I've done a whole podcast in the past called the Doc Brown Theory. And this is the concept that in any given moment, if you were sitting on your front porch and Doc Brown pulled up and hopped out of his DeLorean and was like, hey, listen, I've come from the future and you have $10 million in your bank account 10 years from now. And you've got $10 million and this is where you live and this is what your life looks like and this is what you're doing and here's all whatever $10 means to you. And he said, listen, I can't talk any further. Just know that's the truth. Keep doing what you're doing, but really show gratitude because it's coming. And then he flew off. You wouldn't sit there and be unhappy about it. You'd be very grateful for it. And you'd start imagining all the ways that you were going to spend this money. And you'd actually be excited. Like, I don't know how it's going to come. I don't know how it's going to get here. I just know that I have $10 million coming to me. I think there's a scene in Ghostbusters with Bill Murray. I think he talks Dan Aykroyd into putting a second mortgage on his family's house or something like that. And then Dan Aykroyd's like, I don't know, how are we going to do this? And Bill Murray's like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I just know that it's going to happen. He kind of has this Bill Murray groove going on. Like that, you can be that person. Like, you don't have to know the answer. You just have to know what you want and know that it is a physical possibility. In the quantum realm, there are limitless possibilities. And so just know in the grand scheme of things in existence, whatever you want is literally a possibility. So if you spend more time creating gratitude for what you want than what you don't have, the chances are you're going to get what you want instead of keep getting what you don't have. Because if you keep staring at what you don't have, that's what you're going to keep getting. And in a sense, you are doing the opposite. Most of us do the opposite, right? It's not that we're creating gratitude for what we don't have, but we are creating elevated emotions around for what we don't have. We are sitting there thinking about it with stress. We're thinking about overwhelm. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. And that is all lack. That is literally a feeling of lack. Stress comes from lack of a couple different things. Just basically, stress in general is a feeling of lack, right? Lack of money, lack of health, lack of love, lack of a relationship, lack of something. You're stressed because you don't have enough. Whereas gratitude is the opposite. Gratitude is receiving. Gratitude is accepting something and being grateful that it is in your life. And so when you step into these feelings of gratitude and live your life on purpose with gratitude as often as possible, you're living an abundant way. So many people spend so much time chasing what they want and feeling I have to work extra hard and hate my life and get all these stress and push past all this lack so I can one day feel good when I have $10 million in my bank account. And the truth is, if you instead start feeling so good, like you have $10 million in your bank account, and just living your life with faith that it's going to be there, faith that it's already there, faith that in the grand scheme of things, my job is to be here now and create gratitude for the moment and work hard. By no means am I saying you don't work hard. I work hard every day, but work hard, be joyfully productive. Work hard with love and gratitude for the outcome and faith, and that the same thing that created the stars and the sun and the moon and the sky and every single thing on earth created you. And you are all the same thing. We're all the same thing. We're all made up of molecules and energy. And so when you start to step into that and you start to be grateful for it as a thing, you start to be grateful for life as a gift, and you start to be grateful for whatever it is that you want as part of that gift, and really start stepping into it, two things happen. One, you're going to get it eventually. But two, you're not chasing anything anymore. You're no longer working extra hard and dealing with the stress so that you can get to the $10 million so you can one day be happy. You are now happy. And that's all you wanted anyway. So when you start to do that and you start to genuinely be there and imagine it and come from a place of mind and heart coherence, right? You calm your body, you calm your mind, you sit in a space where you're saying, I am a millionaire. I am a multimillionaire. I have $10 million in my bank account. And then just imagine yourself and just, oh my gosh, this is what I love about this. Is why I want this. And you think about it and you feel it and you look about all the people you can help. And you imagine yourself driving the car that you want to drive and just creating gratitude for that day as if it happened today. Make your future that you want your memories of the past. Like imagine as you could think of any other memories. So often we spend time looking at the past and we drill in these memories, the same thing over and over and over again. And they're often stuff we don't even like and didn't want to happen to us. And that's what we're just staring at and thinking about. Thinking about how the job isn't going the way we wanted to, or how the relationship isn't going the way we wanted to, or we don't have enough money. And guess what? That's what you're getting, because that's what you're still thinking about with elevated emotion like stress and anxiety and frustration. So instead, create elevated emotions of joy and love and gratitude and compassion. And if I have $10 million, and this is just one example, right? So I'm going to, like I said below, there's going to be there's 300 affirmations. $10 million is just a number that I threw out for this video. But if you click on the link below, you can get 300 that you can use. But each one of them, you don't have to use them all. You pick which ones you want to use. But pick ones that align with who you are and who you want to be and what you want to do with your life. And step into each one in a place of presence as if it is a memory and not a future wish, because it's not a wish. When you create gratitude for something, it becomes real. And the more you build up this habit as a human being of genuinely and authentically creating gratitude for the things that you want in your life, on the quantum physics level, you are creating them. We are all creators. I talk a lot about that in my book. My book is called Be Patient, Be Present, Be Joyful, a first aid kit for the emotional bumps, scrapes, and bruises of life. In fact, you can click on the link below and get a copy of that as well. But I talk about the fact that we are always and in all ways creating something. Right now, I'm creating a man making an awesome video. You are creating a man or woman who is watching this awesome video and hopefully taking in some information that will serve your future so that you can create more of whatever it is that you want. So again, intention, gratitude, faith. Actually, I'm going to add a fourth pillar as we're going here. I'm making this up because it's based on my life, and sometimes I don't remember everything right when I sit down to make these videos. So the first one is intention, right? And I'm going to use the $10 million. So you create $10 million. That's it. I've made my decision. I'm writing it down. I'm thinking about it. I'm creating gratitude for it. So number 2 is gratitude. Elevate your emotions, compassion. Recognize that this is a thing and you can feel however you want about it. Instead of being scared that it's not going to happen or be doubtful because it just feels like a wish and is too far-fetched. Forget that. Sit in gratitude that it happened, because wouldn't you rather just spend time in gratitude anyway, feeling like you would if you had the $10 million? Create the gratitude. That's number 2. Number 3 is faith in the other co-creator, right? So again, the same thing that created you can certainly, if they could create all this other stuff, whatever it is, you want to call it God, you want to call it universe, you want to call it consciousness, whatever it is that put all of us in the form that we can see and interact with, can certainly put $10 million in your bank account, right? So that's 3. And then number 4, which I mentioned earlier, I was excited to share with you, I've now forgotten, patience. Bringing it all back around. Be patient, man. Like, just recognize that it might not happen in a week, a month, a year, 5 years. But if in the grand scheme of things, you knew that it was going to happen and you were able to intentionally and purposefully spend every single day in the meantime feeling good about life and grateful for life and grateful for the money that's coming and taking action towards it because that's what you wanted to do, then who cares when it's going to get here? It'll get here exactly when it's supposed to. And what you can do in the meantime is create gratitude for your presence. You can create gratitude for the outcome that you want. You can be whoever you want to be as often as possible. You can ask yourself questions like, how is this thought serving me? You can ask yourself questions like, if that thought is not serving me, what would be a thought that did? How would my life feel if I was grateful for each moment? When I'm stressed about something, how can I take a look at what is the lesson? Instead of this happening to me, how did this happen for me? How can I go from judgment to curiosity? Judgment of this is bad, my life is bad, I'm not good enough, I'm not farther enough along, to curiosity of this. I got this far in life. This is exactly where I am, and this is what just happened. How did that happen for me to take me to the next level? What is the opportunity for growth for me if I feel like I didn't do as well as I'd like to? What is the lesson here? Nothing's a failure until you say it is. Create gratitude for the opportunity to even have those thoughts. It's so funny how when we decide that every single moment is an opportunity for us to decide who we want to be and do something about it, our entire life can change. We start recognizing that life is happening for us, and we have an opportunity to create curiosity as to how that can be and what we can do about that and what we can learn from each lesson. If we're constantly living in curiosity, how can I be a better version of myself? When you wake up and you're having a tough day, if you get in a fight with somebody, if you had something bad happen at work and you're angry at somebody you work with, at any given moment, you can sit in those feelings and be angry at them, feel anger, feel stress, feel overwhelmed, or you can create curiosity and you can create gratitude for your life. And you can create curiosity as how are these thoughts serving my purpose? How are these thoughts making me the best version of myself? How are these thoughts helping me to inspire others to be the best versions of themselves? These are all thoughts that you can ask yourself any single moment of any single day. Again, you wake up in the morning, there's gravity, there's sunlight, there's oxygen. Chances are, if you're watching this, there's running water. And you are in a place where you can obtain food. Other times, if you're feeling stressed, you're building a business, you're in a sales position of some sort, and you're down on yourself for not being good enough or not being farther enough along or not making as much money as you want to. I'm here to tell you there are people who have done more with less. And when we start to recognize that, we can compare, like I'm not really big in comparing, but at a baseline to ask yourself, there are people who have done more with less. What am I doing with this? What am I doing with this gift called life? What am I doing with this gravity, this oxygen, this sunlight, this running water? What am I doing today to move myself towards what I want to do and who I want to be? And have I even thought about who I want to be? What does that actually mean? Have I created gratitude for that? When you sit and you create gratitude for who you want to be and where you want to be, you are living that now, because there is only now. So I feel like I might have gotten away from the affirmations piece, but it's all the same. It's all about knowing your truth. It's about speaking your truth with passion, with love, with gratitude. Like you're here for a reason. What is it? It can be whatever you want to be. So step into your greatness. Step into your affirmations. Remind yourself every single day, multiple times a day, of who you want to be. The list, the 300 affirmations in the PDF below, I actually recorded myself saying all of them, and I play it when I go to sleep. And so as I'm drifting off to sleep, I am thinking about exactly what I want every aspect of my life to look like and feel like. And if I told you how many things of those have popped up and showed up in my life, I'd say you'd probably be surprised, but maybe you wouldn't. The truth is, if you think about what have you been thinking about more often, and how often is that showing up in your life, not from even like a metaphysical thing. Like you take like the person who is an antique collector, and they are going to garage sales. They're going to see something of value that nobody else will see, because that's what they're looking for all the time. And whereas somebody else who's not looking for that, they're just looking to kind of maybe stop in and save $5 on some toys for their kids. That's what they're going to find. And so what you think about, not only from a metaphysical standpoint, is what you bring about, like literally by moving, energy, like shifting energy of atoms and molecules and all that stuff, but really even just for your consciousness paying attention to. What you think about, you bring about. You take it anybody who's an expert in anything, and they have spent time focusing their thoughts, focusing their conversations around those things. You take any multimillionaire, and I mean, I say, obviously some people are born with an inheritance and they're typically not very happy, right? Or if somebody didn't work for it, they typically don't understand the value of it. But any self-made multimillionaire, let's just say, I guarantee if you look at their lives, they spend a lot of time thinking about money, and that's what they wanted to bring in. and taking a lot of time working towards it. So I'm using money because it's something that we all typically go to. Like everybody would love to win the lottery or whatever. But there's so many other things. And, again, the list of affirmations is not just about money at all. It's about peace. It's about self-awareness. It's about comfort. It's about relationships. It's about everything. And so you get to pick and choose which ones you want. But that's my whole point. I'm using money because it's a quick one for us to go for. But if you say, listen, I've been doing my affirmations and they're not working, the reason they're not working is because you're not believing, you're not passionate, and you're not patient. You're not patient, right? So you can't just, I have a coaching client and she'd be like, oh, I did my affirmations in like 10 seconds. I was like, were you even present? Like, would it have killed you to do it 10 minutes or 5 minutes even? I had another friend who said that she used to do them in her car with like music playing. And I think music actually is very helpful for affirmation. So let me change that. But it wasn't meditative music that was playing. It was like loud pop music, like people singing while she was driving down the road. And she wasn't focused. She wasn't paying attention. She wasn't taking in the information that she needed. And so this is your life you're designing, right? When you're doing these affirmations, this is not a joke. This is not something just to blow through to check it off a list for things I had to do today. This is you designing your life. This is you being the co-creator of your life. And when you design, that's your job. Your job is to design it and then create an elevated emotion, which is gratitude for the outcome and your ability to create the outcome, and then let the rest happen. I say that in the sense you still have to take action, you still have to do your job, but think about it with passion and love, but don't get caught up in how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. Just be grateful that it's happening. And if you do that every single day, you'll build up a life where you are grateful every single day. And eventually you might just get what you want at the same time. And that's all anybody wants anyway. They want to be happy. They want to feel free. They want to feel free and not in lack. So stop feeling lack. Sit in moments of gratitude and abundance and appreciation for what you want. And imagine that you already have it. And if you did really have it, how would you feel in that moment? Sit there for as long as necessary until you can build up the feeling. Oh my gosh, now I get it. Because when you do, then all of a sudden, and by the way, I've been doing affirmations for 20 years. And so I started off as the guy that was doing them quickly as well. So by the way, this is not just me saying, hey, I'm doing it perfect. I am saying that in recent years specifically, I've leveled up quite a bit. And things are showing up more often than I can even say. So it is about intention. It is about love. It is about gratitude. It is about a way of being. It is about speaking and feeling from your heart and using your voice and saying it out loud. Some people say, listen, I'm a little embarrassed. Like I don't want my spouse or somebody else that I know to overhear me. Or listen, man, if you're afraid of what someone else is going to think because you are pursuing your life that you deserve and desire, then that's the first thing. That'd be my first I am. My first affirmation. I don't care. Actually, I wouldn't say this, but I'm saying that the concept around I don't care what other people think. Other people's opinions shouldn't matter because they're not living their life for you and you're not living your life for them. So that's often the first hurdle. Forget what anybody else thinks because it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. You spend time, focus on who you want to be and how you want to live your life. Think about it every single day. That's what your life is for. That's what you're here for, to decide. You are a creator. When you get up in the morning, you're creating a person who's doing something. It might as well be someone who is creating the life they desire and inspiring others to do the same. That's all I got for today. Again, check out the links below. We'll send you a free PDF with 300 affirmations. You can see a copy of my book on Amazon if you're curious about that as well. And check out some of our other videos. We got a bunch on mindset. This one here is on mindset. And this one over here is on sales. So you can check out either one of these. Subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being you.